This is a piece of bone we cut out in Brooke's skull. The most nerve-wracking part of my day is that 15 minutes or so when the patient is waking up. You don't know whether you've caused any harm, and you just don't know whether they're going to wake up with a deficit or with a stroke.
New Aussie Brooke was diagnosed with a suspicious growth in her brain. Today at RPA, Dr. Johnny Wong will be taking her through her impending brain surgery.
So last time I spoke, you were telling me that you were initially having some headaches and some facial numbness.
Yeah, I started getting severe headaches and my face started going numb on this side, on the right side. Hearing decreased, eye can't, inability to focus.
I'm definitely biased in saying the brain's the most important organ in the body. And a lot of it, we don't really understand how all the neurons are interconnected and what makes, a person have certain thoughts, certain feelings, certain aspirations. When I look at the scans, the area here contains a lot of fluid. Okay. And usually when we see that, that's most consistent with an arachnoid cyst.
Okay.
But the thing that doesn't quite fit with the overall picture, it's not quite consistent, is that I would have expected the cyst to have been present in the scan 7 years ago.
Right.
And for something that is growing and enlarging, it could be a cystic type of brain tumour. I think the beauty of neurosurgery that you can make such a big difference to someone's life, but it's a double-edged sword. You can just as quickly hurt someone, and you can just as easily have a complication and they wake up, they have a stroke. Yes, it's high risk, high reward sort of specialty. So one of the things that I'll be concerned about will be vision, particularly in the top left-hand corner. The other problem that I'm worried about is your speech. You're left-handed, and about half of left-handers have their speech centre on the right-hand side. And so if we were to disturb that, then there'll be difficulty understanding or generating speech. Okay. I'm hoping that we're not going to be causing much deficits or disability from operating. The other thing that I didn't mention is that because the temporal lobe can be affected by seizures, that's another thing that we need to, I need to warn you about.
Wow, this is a lot.
It is a lot. But we'll get through it.
The day for her major surgery has arrived. And to mark the occasion, she's gone for a completely new look.
I realized that they were going to shave part of my head, and I really didn't want a bad comb over. So I just feel it's going to be better for it to grow out now and then catch up, and then I'll be able to actually grow it out the rest of the way.
We need to find out what the nature of this might be. This potentially could be a brain tumour. And the treatment for brain tumour obviously is very different to a benign congenital cyst. The prognosis for brain tumours is still pretty poor. That's my biggest concern. So now we've got the skull exposed, so we can make our bony opening. The preliminary steps to an operation, getting through the skull and then opening the membrane around the brain, all that is pretty much routine for me now. Excellent, and there we go. Let's keep the bone. We'll put that back in later. But there's always a critical part of an operation where there's a pressure point.
Dr. Wong will only know what he's dealing with after opening the dura, the milky membrane covering Brooke's brain.
Looks like an arachnoid cyst to me.
While the early signs are encouraging, only testing will determine if this mass contains any tumour.
We're able to preserve the brain tissue and still be able to make an opening deep down, right next to the brainstem, to allow the fluid to communicate. And I'm going to take this sample now, and just to make sure, verify there's no tumour component to it. This is a piece of bone we cut out in Brooke's skull, and for us to put this back into her skull, we'll put these little plates on. The most nerve-wracking part of my day is that 15 minutes or so when the patient is waking up. You don't know whether you've caused any harm, and you just don't know whether they're going to wake up with a deficit or with a stroke.
Hey, Brooke. Brooke, welcome back. We've done it.
Brooke's risky brain surgery is over.
Yeah, we're done. We're all good. Don't worry about a thing. Everything went perfectly, okay?
And 2 days later, Dr. Johnny Wong is relieved to see she's come through unscathed.
Hello. Hey,
Hi,
Brooke.
Dr. Wong.
How you doing?
Doing all right. How you
You
going?
all right?
Yeah.
Have you got much pain in your head?
Been having a lot,
I'm feeling a lot of pain. Yeah.
but I think everything's starting to wake up.
Starting to wake up.
I sometimes pinch myself that I'm here because I didn't think I'll get here.
I have something to show you.
Okay.
Just to demonstrate to you, this was the MRI that you had done before the surgery, and that's a scan after the surgery.
Wow.
So you can see here that the cyst was much bigger,
Yeah.
and now it's half the size.
That's so good.
Okay.
6 days after her brain surgery, Dr. Johnny Wong has arrived at Brooke's bedside with the all-important results from pathology.
So I have some news for you. The pathology results finally come through.
Okay.
Good news. It's an arachnoid cyst.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you don't have to worried about it. It's definitely confirmed to be an arachnoid cyst.
Benign, completely.
Benign.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is the best news ever.
And the news keeps getting better. Brooke's friends have flown in from Canada and are waiting outside for a very special reunion.
Exactly 6 months yesterday, Jenna Lee saw me on a plane to start an adventure over to Australia, and now I get to see her in a few minutes. And, after having brain surgery and coming through this journey, and new beginning, it's a new beginning. So, pretty excited about that.
Hey, look, you've got your vest on. You made it.
Thank you for being here.
I love you. Of course I'm here.
Life has really changed over the last 6 months.
Here, you're on the side.
Yeah.